Well, first off, I have great news to share with everyone, and that is that we finally have definitive proof that the experts do not give one crap about these couples. They showed a clip, and it was a flashback to Mirla. That, you see how I said that word there? That's going to be very key for this next part. Mirla showed up hammered to her meeting with Dr. Pepper. And then we get to see Dr. Pepper ask Mirla a few questions. You see, did you hear that word I said there? Well, Mirla, that's a word that Dr. Pepper wasn't aware was Mirla's name. What did she call her? He called her like Mirla. Mirla, not even close. Mirla, that's like somebody Dr. Pepper went to school with. Mirla. No, Mirla. Like, if you can't even take the time to learn the couple's names, you are not invested in them having a successful marriage. What an absolute joke. You know, this whole season was an absolute joke, a real shame. And you know what? I'm gonna still come back for next season. Like the new couples are already out for next season. My wife and I already been scrolling through and judging the couples. You know, we've already got a couples X off as failures for next season already. But you know what? I think the new season starts January 5th, and of course I will be back for that. But anyways, let's jump into tonight's episode. A lot going on here. You know, after everything, I think we probably could have just got away with one reunion. They really dragged this out. The couples coming out on their own. The girls have their chat. The guys have their chat. The experts have their chat. The experts chat with two of the couples one-on-one. And then everybody all gets together to just make the episode even longer. So we did get through it, and now let's talk about our couples. I don't even know where I want to start here. Brett and Ryan, we're just going to pass on them. There really wasn't much for them this episode, but I think everybody else we can jump into. Might as well start with Johnny and Bao, just because they didn't get any screen time last week. I kind of had the feeling that the session with Johnny and Bao wasn't going to be that explosive, and turns out that I was correct. You know, this should have been a, hey everybody, let's drag Johnny through the mud. Let's take this man who was absolutely atrocious to Bao this season. The things that came out of his mouth are just, they're not okay. Just not okay. These are not things that a grown man says to anyone, let alone his wife. And yet for some reason, we just got to sweep all that under the rug for the reunion show. You know, we got to hear Johnny's side and Johnny say how, oh, this and this and this, and it was all BS. It was all crap. And then at the end of the episode, we had to sit there and watch Johnny and Mirla, I pulled a Dr. Pepper, everybody. I pulled a Dr. Pepper. Mirla just sit there and, I'm going to use some air quotes here, but flirt. That's a pretty loose term. It's gross. Like, let's drag his ass. Don't let it, like, why are we harder on Zach than we are on Johnny? You know, like, Johnny was, the things that he said, I don't know if there's ever been any couple where more horrific things were said between the couple, and yet still we're out here trying to figure out who's responsible for the relationship not working. We know. We have the proof. It was all on camera. And Johnny, like, he was trying to explain things and, like, not even coming close to getting to a point. Like, he said some BS about, oh, we agreed that we would talk about things first off camera. And then 10 seconds later, he said, I have never planned a conversation in my life. I'm always 100% authentic and real. Johnny, if that's true, then why are you having pre-conversations off camera to prepare for your conversations on camera? That doesn't really add up, Johnny. That seems like somebody who's planning out what they're gonna say. It's very ridiculous, and then he's trying to come up with all these reasons that Bao was terrible, that Bao acts differently around different people. Well, I've got news for Johnny. You see, like, I have different friend circles. One, I go and play Dungeons and Dragons on Friday night. I'm not the same person at my Dungeons and Dragons with my Dungeons and Dragons friends as I am when I go to an Oilers game, go to a hockey game with my brother-in-law or one of my other friends. Do I act the exact same? No. Those are different groups with vastly different interests, and I act differently in those different situations. Even here, portraying myself to you, do you think this is the same as me at work? Absolutely not. And absurd that Johnny expects Bao to be exact same in every situation, every scenario, every setting. It's just not realistic. And one thing we already know about Bao is she deeply, deeply cares about the opinions of others and presents herself as such. It is extremely important, and I would say something at the core of who she is, to be liked and valued in all of her aspects of her life. Johnny, you are just beyond clueless and an embarrassment, not only just to this franchise, but to every human on the planet. Maybe I went a little bit too far there, but who cares? All right, let's talk about Mirla and Gil. That's Mirla, not Merla. Don't pull any more Dr. Peppers. It was hard to watch. We got to see Gil. So when they sat down with the experts, he's sitting there, he's emotional, he's clearly a man who is still going through a heartbreak, and Mirla's just kind of sitting there looking very cold-hearted to me. This is someone who didn't really appear to care about Gil. It didn't really appear to care about how her actions affected another human being. And, everything that the experts were saying to her just didn't really seem to penetrate at all. And I don't think that she's had any growth or change in her life through this process. We're at the end of the episode in that big group setting, and Johnny and Mirla are just sitting there giggling like little children. They're laughing at Gil. It's pretty blatant. They think it's funny that he's sad, and that's, to me, is just not a person that you want to associate with, not a person that you would want someone that you care about to be in a relationship with, and just not someone that you would want in your life. Just really ultimately sad to see Mirla act that way. It did seem like she had a good journey on the show, but hearing how things ended with Gil makes it just feel all fake to me, that everything Mirla brought forward to us was just fake. And, as much as I think that she's warranted to not want to be in a relationship with Gil, there was some things about their relationship and the way Gil spoke to her that were not great, but all of that should have been addressed before decision day or led to a no on decision day. If it had just been a no on decision day and they were done, we'd be having a totally different conversation. We'd be looking at things totally differently. It's that she said yes on decision day and then 2 weeks later woke up and walked out of that marriage. That is very suspicious to me. I'd love to know if that actually lined up for the accidental coincidence that Johnny and Mirla went to Cancun together. I would like to know a few more details on that, but we didn't get that opportunity for those questions. and I doubt we ever will. Let's jump over to Rachel and Jose. I thought it was very illuminating how much the experts went after Jose for his temper, yet never addressed anyone else's behavior in that manner. Do I think Jose's temper and his behavior, especially in that fight, are a major red flag and issue? Yes, absolutely. Not for 1 second am I condoning what Jose did or his behavior. You know, to me, if I'm in that relationship and the other person did that to me, I'm out. I'm done. That's a relationship ender right there. But you know, they really went after Jose, you know, telling him that behavior's not okay. His anger, his temper, his violence is not okay. That they advised that he seeks professional help. And Jose was very receptive to that. And it seems like he really wants things to work out with Rachel, but also now realizes that he needs to change in order for that to happen. But anyways, back to my point, you know, Michaela, who had that extremely violent episode where, you know, it seemed like she pushed Zach off camera. It was never brought up, so maybe it didn't happen. But we did get to see her smashing through the resort, knocking over or trying to wreck every single thing she could, having to be restrained by one of the producers. And you know, it just feels like everybody's like, well, Michaela just had a bad moment, and Michaela's trying to pass things off as getting very emotional about, you know, something that happened in her past, her dad leaving, or feeling abandonment, and now it's being like justified that, oh yeah, she had this abandonment issues, so it's okay for her to absolutely blow up in a violent nature. No, it's not okay for anyone to blow up in that manner. It is not all right, not okay, and the experts needed to condemn that behavior and not try to find a reason or an excuse for it. Not healthy to me, not okay. And if you're going to treat Jose in that manner, come at Michaela the same. Also, you know, why weren't we looking at all those clips while Michaela was in her one-on-one? You know, they finally bring up that clip, and I'd like to note they very conveniently edited out Michaela doing her okay bye, okay bye, okay bye to Zach. Very conveniently left that out so that she could weave that story, weave that tale for us, which was completely fabricated and BS. There are moments in life where you're watching somebody talk and it's clear they've been coached on what to say, and Michaela was that person tonight. She had all her lines memorized, everything right to make sure she looked good. And you know, the moment things did get bad for her, in that after at the end there, and when Gil walked out, she conveniently used that excuse to bounce. As soon as things started to turn against her a little bit, she's out. That's very telling to me. You know, she can come and drag Zach, but the moment that she starts getting dragged, Michaela, outie. Who did I miss? I feel like I missed an entire couple. Maybe I didn't. We talked about Mirla and Gil. We talked about Zach and Michaela. Well, maybe we just talked about Michaela. We skipped Brett and whatever the guy's name was. You know, I know his name. I'm just not going to say it. Yeah, I think that's everybody. If I did miss somebody, oh well, they probably weren't that important or interesting. I hope everybody enjoyed this season. We are going to get the Where Are You Now, I believe next week. That should be interesting. You know, they teased that maybe there's something going on with Zach and Bao. One other thing I just want to talk about, it was very interesting how they tried to start building this narrative of, oh, hey, who do you think would be a good couple that weren't matched together? You know, they were really trying to play that up like like the shows still did a good job of getting people together, which felt a little weird to me. I don't know where I was. I'm all over the place. This season has scrambled my entire brain. Let's just wrap this video up. We'll see you next week. We'll see you January 5th for next season. I hope everybody enjoyed watching. Hopefully we get some better matchmaking next time around, because this year was pathetic. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.